Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. I have another Uchu Sentai Kyuranger review for you today. This is Giganto, and this box is massive. I unfortunately can't really fit it all in frame at the same time, but here's the bottom where it says Giganto number 12 in the Kyutama series. It is a really giant box. Trying to take a look at the sides here. You can see Giganto plus Shishi Red, Shishi Voyager, and the 12 Kyutama gets you Kyutama Jin. Taking a look at this side, you just kind of have a pretty cool picture of the rocket blasting off into space. I think that's a pretty cool picture. I like that a lot. It shows the base, the actual like spaceship, and then there's a satellite component. And we'll take a look at all that in a moment. Top of the box, pretty cool there. Bottom of the box, not too much going on there. Oops. Back of the box, we have, starting, I guess we'll start at the top. I'll bring it a little bit closer so you can see. Kind of just shows you the Ho-Oh Kyutama, the ship, everything you get in the box, the ship, the satellite, the base, and the Kyutama. Here's Giganto, and then coming down here, it shows, of course, the combination with Shishi Voyager and the 12 Kyutama, and you get Kyutama Jin. So there you go. And it does take 2 AAA batteries, as it tells you there on the bottom. So that is it for the box. It is a truly gigantic box. And let's go ahead and get it out of the box and take a closer look. Alright, so this is everything you get in the box, and again, it's kind of hard to keep it all in frame, but I'm going to kind of go through each piece on its own. Put this off to the side just for a moment. Here is the rocket sitting on the base. So you can see, scroll up. There's really not anything to the base, and it doesn't connect in any way. It just sits on there, and then you can pretend it's blasting off. There's really nothing to the base. It's going to become feet, obviously, as you can see in the Kyutama Jin mode, but for the most part, and then they just clip together just like that, very simply. So there's not really much to the base. I'm going to put this off to the side, and we'll take a look at the spaceship, which is kind of the main piece. I guess this technically is Ho-Oh Voyager on its own. It's a pretty cool little ship. I like it. Here is the Kyutama in the chest. And this is just the exact same... Oops, it's a little not transformed. There we go. You can see it's got the 12 holofoil sticker. It's the same as the Kyutama from the Ho-Oh Blade and Shield. This is the one from the Blade and Shield, and I'm dropping it. And this is the one from the Voyager. Look the same, stickers are the same. Pin system is the same. The bottom on this one is clear. The bottom on this one is kind of a solid gunmetal gray. But the pins are in the exact same spot. This one does have a different picture. And I will zoom in a little bit so you can see this. It's the standard kind of cockpit shot for this one. It's a little hard to see because since Ho-Oh Soldier's costume is mostly black, they tried to do that there. But you can't see the head as much, because the black part kind of takes the majority of the detailing. It's kind of weird. We'll see it again when I plug it in here, because there is an LED back here. So plug that back in. So here is the Ho-Oh Voyager. It is a ship. There is battery compartment right here for 2 AAA batteries, on and off switch right here. So I'll go ahead and turn that on. And I will turn that off and on again so you can see the light. Whoops. So as you can see, it's kind of weird the way the black part of his costume kind of overshadows and it's hard to see the rest of it. It's a little weird and unfortunate, but not a huge deal breaker. Overall, I like the look of the ship. I kind of like the red paint to symbolize kind of the fire of the Ho bird or phoenix. I like the detail. The paint's very nice, and I really like this section up here, which is going to kind of become the visor for the head for Gigant Ho. I like that a lot. So overall, really nice paint. So now that this is turned on, we can press this button here. So at this point, it's waiting for it to connect with the satellite piece, which I'll put this off to the side and bring that back in now. So this is the satellite piece. There's not a ton to it on its own, to be honest. It has these panels which you can rotate around. There's going to be a sword piece that pops off of each one, and they just peg right back on. A little bit of paint. Oh, I'm breaking it. I'm breaking it. There we go. Nope, swords fell off of both of them. Let me pop those back on. So there's detailing up here, which is mostly for the robot mode. The fists are going to fold out. We'll see that a little bit later. But in the satellite mode, there's not a whole lot to see. This is just supposed to be like floating around in space. So basically what happens is you put it on the base like it's going to blast off. And then it does that 3, 2, 1. You hear the blast off sound. And then that music it just played when I turned it off, that's for you to dock with the satellite. So let's go ahead and do that now. And it's worth noting that for the first combination, or just the kind of normal robot transformation for this, for just Gigant Ho, you do not use the actual black base piece. That only comes into play for Kyutama Jin. So it's getting ready to take off. So it's taking off, launching into space to meet up with the satellite. So let's bring the satellite down. So now we're going to bring this down, fold out the fist, do the same with the other side. And the fists are kind of stubby, I have to admit. These are going to fold down like this. You're going to fold back these wings on the legs, and then split the legs in half, and then you can press the button again. Oh, and this slides up. Sorry about that. It doesn't look a heck of a lot different, just kind of reveals a mouth because this is going to be the visor. I really like it a lot. It kind of reminds me of like Magiking, or not Magiking, but something from Magiranger. I'm pretty sure Magiking had normal eyes, but something like Wolf Kaiser or something like that. I don't know. It really reminds me of like something out of Magiranger, and maybe because Phoenix was part of that as well. So I don't know, but you can also pop those swords off like we saw earlier, and then they can peg in as weapons. And then you have the articulation that you can move these forward. The only problem is then you have these things. I personally kind of like to just put these up instead. I don't know, it's kind of gives me like a Voltron feel or something. I just think personally that looks cooler. And you can do whichever you like. It's personal preference. The directions have the official way hanging down, but if you like having it up there like I do, you know, totally doable. So I kind of like this robot mode a lot. It's simplistic, not a lot of articulation, but it's pretty standard for a Sentai mech. I kind of like it a lot. I love the head. I just absolutely love that mask. So that's just some kind of moving around sounds. Now, if you press this down, it's going to do the docking for Kyutama Jin. I'll just do it now. I'll do it later after the combination, but it's kind of hard to get to after the combination. You'll see what I mean. So I'm going to do it now just for fun. So there you go. If you hit it again, it just takes you back to the beginning. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot about the galaxy sound. So now you're back to the beginning. But yeah, I really like this. Here is Q-Reno, just for size comparison. You can see they're pretty much about the same size, especially if you go with the directions and push these down. They're pretty much exactly the same size. I mean, obviously this is, the cone head up here is a little bit taller, but they're pretty close. He's just got a little bit stubby arms, but the swords I think make up for it. So now, well, most of these two can combine, and I'll show you what I mean by that now. Alright, so I'm going to do my best to keep this stuff in frame during the transformation because he gets to be pretty tall by the end. Now you can see the first thing I've done for Q-Reno is removed all of the actual Voyager pieces. You just want the Kyutama connected. For Gigant Hoa, I took the swords off and put them back where they go, and I slid the visor down. You can start by completely taking off this chest piece, and you can come over here and peg that into the chest for Q-Reno. There you go. You can take out the Ho-Oh Kyutama, just kind of put that off to the side. You can... what's next? I guess we're going to disconnect here, right below what I guess would be the knee, the legs of Gigant Ho-Oh, and put them off to the side as well. And then you're going to fold the arms back up, or the hands rather. And you're going to pop off this blue headpiece, which will come into play later. So he's pretty much done for now. Going to put him off to the side for a moment. You're going to bring in the base. And this was the front of the base, so you're going to want what was kind of the back of the base. And you're going to bring in your Hibitsky Silver Kyutama. And peg that in to what will become the left foot. And then take your Tenbin Kyutama and peg that in there. And then this is going to peg into this whole bottom section. You can see this is what the Q-Tom is going to peg into, and then there's this extra space for this kind of back piece. So completely peg those on there. And there you go. You have, is that on all the way? Yes. You have the feet for Q-Tama Jin. At this point, you can come around to the back, and the same kind of places that you pegged in Ryu Voyager for that combination, you're going to peg in these and these. So, peg this in, and there you go. And you can see now the button on the waist is a little bit obscured, which is why I did that earlier. But, you know, it's still there. So now you're going to actually fold up the face for Q Reno, which, as I know, is a little bit easier said than done. Well, actually, I guess you don't have to. You can just pull this whole piece off, and then you can fold it up. So this, you're going to spin around and peg this on here where the blue piece was previously. So that just hangs out on the back. Then you're going to come around here. You're going to take this foot piece, fold the wing back the opposite way, and plug in your washi pink. And that's going to peg onto there. You're going to take your Sasori orange, peg that into this one, and then peg that onto there. You're going to take your Ryu Q-Tama, pop that on there, and your Koguma Q-Tama, pop that on there, and you're pretty much done. You're going to take this blue piece we took off before and pop that where the head of the lion was. And then you're going to take your Ho-Oh Q-Tama and peg that onto the top. And then you have Q-Tama Jin. So he's pretty tall. Can't really get him in the shot all at once. It's kind of a shame that all the mecha can't actually combine together. It's just 2 mecha and then 12 Q-Tama. So that's kind of a bummer. But this thing is kind of ridiculously goofy looking, and it's really grown on me. I didn't think at first that it would, but having it in hand, it kind of has. And I don't really know why that is, because it's definitely off the wall and goofy looking. Yeah, I don't know. So I'll try to press the button again, but it's like deep in here now. There we go. And I'll try to get a closer look here at the head sculpt so you can check that out. I kind of like that head a lot. Let's see if I can focus without having the light scream at me. Okay, that looks pretty good. Oop, there we go. So yeah, I like that a lot. I like the eyes. I like the star, the kind of Q-Ranger symbol there. Yeah, it's a little goofy looking, but I don't know. I kind of like it. It kind of grows on me. This whole mode has just kind of grown on me. It's definitely silly, and it's definitely a shame that we can't actually use all the actual mecha, just the Q-Tama. But it is what it is, and I kind of like it. So I really like this guy a lot. I like him even more than I thought I was going to. I didn't have any kind of bad, preconceived notions about it. I just, now that I have it in my hand and I'm playing with it, I like it a lot more than I expected. I always kind of thought I would love this form, and I really do. This is definitely my favorite out of the two. I think Gigant Ho-Oh just looks really neat. I love this mask up here. The whole head sculpt I like a lot. I like the swords. I think this kind of design here in the front, the color scheme is great. I like these things. I even like them more kind of put vertically instead of hanging down here. So I really, really like this mode. And I have to say, the Kyutama Jin mode has grown on me. When I first saw the designs for it, I was kind of like, that's a shame. It just uses 2 Voyagers and 12 Kyutama instead of using 12 Voyagers, which I still would prefer. But I guess it's just the way they connect. I can understand how it's not quite possible, but I don't know. I guess they could have tried to do something, but what we get is still fun. I just think it could have been a lot more fun if you could actually cobble together all 12 Voyagers. I think that would have been something massive and goofy and totally just stupid fun. Whereas, you know, the 2 Voyagers and 12 Kyutama is okay. And I do like the design. It's grown on me, but it could have been something more. It's just kind of a missed opportunity. I always go back to like D12 Formation from Go Ondra or something like that, where it truly was just a crazy cobbling together of 12 Zords, or mecha for lack of a better term. And so that was a lot of fun, and I think that would have been fun to do again, but, you know, it just didn't happen. So I still think this guy's worth picking up, absolutely, because I love this mode. The other mode is fun, even though it's not as fun as it could be. I still think this guy's definitely worth picking up. And especially if you didn't want to pick up the sword and shield, or the blade and shield, you could get a Kyutama with this guy that is exactly the same except for the picture inside. It'll make the same exact sounds with the Seiza Blaster, which is why I didn't really bother doing that again, because the pin system is exactly the same. So this will make the exact same sounds in the Seiza Blaster as the Kyutama that came with the blade and shield. So if you didn't want to pick up the blade and shield because you thought it was too cumbersome, you're not into roleplay toys, you can get a perfectly good Ho-Oh Kyutama with this Voyager. So definitely a viable option there. I definitely recommend picking this up, though. I think it's a lot of fun. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I want to hear your opinions. Please like and share this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you've enjoyed this look at the DX. Now I can't blah blah blah. DX Gigant Ho. I wanted to say Kyutama Jin. No, that's what the other mode's called. The DX Gigant Ho from Uchu Sentai Kyuranger. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching.